All right, welcome to all our viewers. Good morning to you. You're watching the Stock Gain, and I'm Devina Menon.
Morning everyone, I'm Avan Dabash, and of course this is our anniversary week special. We're completing 2 years this Friday. So we've got on board three very exciting guests from three leading brokerages. But first, let me just run you through how the game works exactly. We have three experts with us every week who are with us from Monday right up until Friday, and we give them a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees. With this money, they're supposed to deploy it into 4 stocks. They can have sell calls coming into the cash market, but in that case, it has to be squared off at the end of the day. There are also compulsory turns of 2 stocks every single day, and if you do select a stock from the F&O space, only one of that is allowed. At the end of the week, we take up our calculators and see who has made the most amount of money on that notional amount that we've given them, and they emerge as the winner of BNSN, the stock game. So let's not waste any time and introduce our three very special guests, in fact, who we have with us. In the studios, we've got Shrikant Chauhan, who is joining in from Kotak Securities. We also have Gaurang Shah of Geojit BNP Paribas, and in a short while, we will be joined by Shardul Kulkarni of Angel Broking. So we'll start off by having Shrikant run us through his 4 picks. Shrikant.
Let me first congratulate you and your team, especially Nikunj, for completing successfully 2 years in this particular competitive environment, which is very difficult to handle. Second one, the strong aspect of the 18-hour channel is that it's catering to all the types of clients with most favored and known faces like Dr. Satyanarayan, or I can say Mr. Mohini. So now it's a fresh new year in your hand, and let me wish you from my side as well as from Kotak, do it at your best.
All right. So thanks a lot for that, and obviously with your support as well, and with viewers coming to watch you, we also get the benefit of it. But right now, your 4 stocks, Shrikant, and the targets and stop losses for the same.
So like the first stock I would choose is Grasim, because it's looking weak on the chart. It has formed very bearish pattern on weekly as well as daily chart. So it's a sell side with a stop loss of 2265 on the high side, with a target of 2150 on the lower side. So it's a sell recommendation on Grasim. Second that I will pick from the mid cap side, the stock is UTV, which is trading at 745 with a stop loss at 715. We can go long with a target of 790 on the higher side. Third one that is VIP Industries, and in the recent time we have seen very sharp correction in the particular stock, so we can even look for it to buy with a stop loss at 705 for the target of 810 on the high side. And the last one is from banking side is DCB, Development Trading, which is trading at 61 with a stop loss at 59 for the target of 66 on the high side.
All right, so that was Shrikant's 4 picks. He's gone short on Grasim and long on VIP, UTV Software, as well as DCB. We will know the rationale behind each of his picks, but for now, let's go to Gaurang Shah. Gaurang, a defending champion. Do you think you'll be able to work your magic this week as well?
I hope so, but first of all, Devina and Avan, let me wish you and your entire team at 18hour a very happy anniversary, and I think you guys have attained a fate of being number 1 in a very short span of time, 2 years, and I think you guys have many years to go. So on behalf of Geojit BNP Paribas, our clients and myself, well, you guys are rocking, and keep on rocking on this number 1 position, and you have a very long way to go.
Thanks very much, Gaurang, for those very kind words. We'll start off with your portfolio and what you have with us on day 1.
Well, I've divided my portfolio into 50-50. I've gone long on 2 stocks, and I've gone short on Reliance Capital and Nifty Futures. I've gone long on Talwalkar. Well, this stock has been maintaining good momentum over the last week or a fortnight. Good amount of delivery-based buying coming in. I'm looking for a target of about 264 on Talwalkar with a stop loss of 238. The second one is Ingersoll. Here I'm looking for a target of about 510 with a stop loss about 468. On Reliance Capital, I've gone short primarily because I guess with the midterm credit policy on the horizon, I think the entire banking stroke NBFC looks a little bit weakish, and of course you have news flows with share negative for Reliance Capital. So I've gone short on Reliance Capital with a target of 515 and a stop loss of 540. And on Nifty futures, I've gone short with a target of about 5435 and a stop loss of 5510.
Thanks so much, Gaurang, for running us through all of your picks for the day. We're having a bit of a problem with Shardul, but let's just run you through what he's selected on day one. He's gone short on 2 stocks and he is bullish on 2. So L&T June futures is what he's gone short on with a target at 1635, a stop at 1725. Bhushan Steel is what he's choosing to sell with a target of 404 and putting a stop on that one at 434. Raymond is the stock that he likes. He's placing a target of, in fact, 405 on that one. And lastly, ONGC, a stop at 259 and a target at 281.
All right, but time now to see the calculator plates and see who has been gaining at this point in time. We'll start off with Shrikant Chauhan's portfolio. These are his recommendations, and that's exactly what his portfolio is doing. So fairly flat for the session, about closer to 100 odd rupees is what he's making. VIP losing steam for him. This is Gaurang's portfolio. He's gaining on 3 of his counters, losing on 1, just like Shrikant. The losses there, however, higher, 2 odd % gone, but overall, he's still making a good 3,000 odd rupees. And Shardul Kulkarni's portfolio, that comes up on your screen. He's losing in a Raymond, making money in ONGC, L&T, as well as Bhushan Steel. That's really working the magic for him. He's making about 4,700 rupees. So at last count, we've got Shardul, Gaurang, and Shrikant. But let's keep it with individual stocks and see why each of them has selected those individual stocks in their portfolio. We'll start off with you, Shrikant. Your first stock, you've got Grasim in your portfolio.
Yeah, Grasim, we can see the chart very clearly on daily basis. The stock has broken its important support at 2250. On weekly basis, you can check that previous last like 2 weeks back, the stock has formed inverse hammer kind of formation, and in the last week it closed below that. So it looks like that the stock is near to break the rising parallel channel, which is very important support for the stock. So in case if it remains below this 2250 levels, then the next levels that we can expect between 2150, 2155. And in case if it breaks 2150, then we can expect real sell-off in the stock. So the first target somewhere around 2150. The stop loss that we can keep just above the important support level of 2260.
All right, 2150 is the kind of target. It's a bit tepid in today's session, down by just about 1% at 2209. Let's talk about Gaurang's first pick then, and this comes as a Talwarkar. It's doing quite well in today's session, Gaurang, higher by just about 1.5% in strong volumes. Do you think that this one has more headroom?
Definitely more headroom, and I think last time around, Avan, I spoke about a stock called Lovable Laundries, and in the last 2 days, that particular stock has gone up almost about 20-25%. Friday, I think it was up about 20. Today, it is up about 3.5-4% the last time that I saw. So on following the consumption theory that we strongly believe could be one of the outperformers in this kind of an environment where you have high interest rates, margins getting shrunk because of raw material cost input, and of course higher crude oil prices. I think consumption theory is what something that will play out very, very strongly. So we have gone, and I also feel that Talwalkar definitely has a good amount of momentum, and right from the time of listing, Avan, the stock has really not shown you any amount of weakness, and on an odd day, even if there is some little bit of weakness, I think you will see a good amount of buying coming in, and that to delivery base. So we are quite optimistic, and I think from a medium to long term, if somebody wants to add Talwalkar Fitness on his or her portfolio, we would definitely recommend that.
All right, in fact, in the last 7 days, the stock's done really well, about 7.5% higher. And Gaurang does believe that in an odd day, if you get an opportunity to pick up the stock at a lower level from a medium-term horizon, you can still do that. We've got Shardul Kulkarni, who's joining us right now to take us through his individual stocks. Shardul, we've already discussed the stocks in terms of the entire portfolio, but the first stock in your portfolio, you've got L&T June futures, which you've gone short on. Could you explain why?
Hi, good morning. Overall, if you see the chart structure of Larsen & Toubro, we're seeing that 1740, 1750 is a decent resistance level for the stock. Plus, the stock gave you a breakdown on Friday's trading session below the levels of 1700. We would expect this as a small correction up to 1630, 1620 levels. Overall, the chart, overall the chart is quite sideways. So I would expect the stock to fall a little bit from current levels, where it may take support around the 1600 mark. The bull candle which has been formed on the 19th of May should hold as a very strong support for this particular stock. So I think that particular level may be tested around 1600, 1610, which is a good 5-7% from current levels.
All
Okay, 1600 to 1610 may be tested according to Shardul on an LNT, looking a bit weak on the technical charts, and in today's session also down by about 0.7%. To stock number 2 in each of our experts' portfolios, and we'll ask them why they've picked it out. You have a buy call coming in on an Ingersoll run. Run us through it.
Stock that we have a buy coverage on Avan, and we strongly believe that given the kind of business model and the balance sheet that the company has, some amount of cash surplus also on the balance sheet, which arguments well for our kind of investment theory going forward. Stock, of course, today I've guessed it's weak a little bit, but from medium to long term we remain to be bullish. The reason why I picked up this stock is because on Friday I think you saw a good amount of move coming in, and of course the volumes also a little bit better than what we would see on an average day. So here Ingersoll Rand, I think from a medium to long term also you can hold on, but from a short term I think one can look for a target of about 510. And if you are a compulsive trader and if you already want to put your stop loss in place, then I think 468 would be an appropriate stop loss for Ingersoll.
Alright, that's the target there, 510 on an Ingersoll Rand. A positive outlook from the brokerage as well. Today, however, just about 2% lower, 474 is where it's trading at. Watch it for that stop loss of 468 as well. Coming to you, Srikanth, and your second pick is a VIP Industries. You've got a buy call on this one. The management is very optimistic about the performance of the company, but isn't it, that the stock has run up too fast, too soon, and even a little bit stretched from the valuations front, but you do believe, at least from a near term, that this will reap you benefits?
Yeah, Devina, you can check the overall performance of the stock. That the recovery that we have seen from 600 levels, it was very amazing, and it was coupled with very good volumes, and it has even broken the previous highest level. So it looks like that there is like fresh inflows, and we can clearly check on the chart that from the levels of 700 to 800 we have not seen any kind of a distribution kind of pattern. Yes, we have seen one correction because of over retracement in the short term, but suddenly it's not an oversold kind of stock, it's just over retraced. So between 40%, 50% retracement of the entire rally, we can expect one more support and we can expect one more rally. So that is why we are recommending stock this to buy at current levels 735, 740 with a stop loss at say just below the important support of 710. We can keep a stop loss at 705 for the target of say 795 on the high side.
So although it's been down about 5% over the past 1 week, it's a thumbs up coming in from Srikanth on VIP Industries. Let's talk about the next stock, which is a Bhushan Steel, down by a whopping 3% almost in the session. Shardul, you've put a sell call on this. You don't have volumes also supporting the sell, but the kind of sell-off we're seeing today. But what kind of downside pressure do you think that there will be for the stock?
See, overall, if you see the metals pack, all the metal stocks are correcting. We are expecting that the metal pack will continue its downfall. Going forward, we expect Bhushan Steel to test the 390 to 385 mark. For an intraday trade, I think that it's already done its bit. 404 was the target that you were looking out for. It has tested 404.20. So I think for this particular day, it's done for the day. But overall, the chart does look weak. We would expect 380 to 385 levels in the next couple of trading sessions.
Okay, that's 390 to 385. That's the kind of downside that we can see for a Bhushan Steel. Very weak across the commodities pack. All right, we'll take a quick break on that note and talk about the other stocks that our experts have picked, and we'll see who is standing to lead in BNS on the stock game. Stay tuned.
Alright, welcome back. You're still tuned into the stock game right here on ET Now, which we are playing this time around with 3 brokerages. We've got Srikanth Chauhan, we've got Gaurang Shah, as well as Shardul Kulkarni. You've heard the first 2 stocks. Let's take on board the third stock in each of their portfolios. We'll start off with you, Srikanth. You've got a UTV Software. Last week, stellar week, you had news about them selling off their gaming business. That was something that kept it very active, but you still believe that after the move last week, it still has potential to go up further?
Devina, yes, it looks like, because the stock has broken its distribution zone between 690 and 660 in just one spike, and that was also with very good huge volumes, and we can check the weighted average volumes, which comes at 725. So in my sense, the stock is having very good support between the 725 745 levels, and from here again we can expect one more rally to the levels of 810, which is the gap down opening level for the stock. So that 810 is certainly going to fail in the next few coming days. We can keep a stop loss at 715 and we can look for it. The main reason behind selecting this mid-cap stock is because the market is in the range, is not going anywhere, and that is why we are expecting outperformance on the mid-cap side. So UTV looks very promising bet even at current levels.
Okay, and continuing that upward momentum, higher by just about 0.7%, but look at that stellar movement over the past 1 week. Talk about a Reliance Capital then, very quiet in today's session. Gaurang, on the chart, there has been a bit of a downward trajectory, but fundamentally, are you expecting the sell-off to be pretty brutal?
I think you will see, gradual kind of, sell-off coming in. It's not going to be a very sharp one, but considering the fact that on 16th you have the mid-quarter review by the RBI, and of course there is a growing consensus that you will definitely see a little bit of bump up in the interest rates, which again could lead to be, an overhang for the banking interest-sensitive NBFCs and of course the market overall. So yes, one of the weakest stock in this particular category is Reliance Capital, and of course there was a little bit of news flow surrounding this particular company last week around, and we really don't see any kind of a major interest coming into higher levels as far as this particular stock is concerned. So we are quite optimistic that you will see lower levels of Reliance Capital, and of course the initial target price is about 515, but I think if Reliance Capital has to slip below 500, then that cut would get a little bit deeper. So if you want to put a stop loss of 540. I think you can definitely go short on this one.
Alright, definitely go short on the Reliance Capital. More weakness below 500 levels. Keep its stop loss, however, at 540, according to Gaurang. On to Shardul's third stock in his portfolio. Then he's got Raymond. He's going ahead and buying that counter. Shardul, in the entire textile space, you've got a lot of movement in not just Raymond, Century Textile as well, Bombay Dyeing as well. Why particularly this month vis-a-vis its peers?
If you actually see the charts from February lows, we've seen the stock moving in a strong upward channel pattern. Plus, if you see the last approximately 5 to 7 trading sessions, you're seeing that the stock has formed a very strong support zone from 370 to 380. That 370 mark is a very strong support. On Friday's trading session, you've seen the stock give you a nice breakout above the levels of 385. So I think that the stock will now test the upper end of the channel, which is at around 403, 404. So I would expect this particular counter to move upwards in the next 2 or 3 trading sessions, wherein you may see the levels of 405 getting tested.
Okay, expecting an upward bias in Raymond over the next few trading sessions. Let's chat about the last and final pick that our experts have chosen, a DCB. And if you were, Shrikant, to cherry pick within the banking arena, within the mid-cap space, does this emerge as a favorite?
See, DCB is having very strong, I can say, technicals on daily as well as weekly charts, even monthly charts, because the stock is continuously outperforming on each of the frame. Even the volumes are very encouraging, and the stock has broken its level of 61 without any specific efforts. So in my sense, with a stop loss of just 59, we can look for it, because the stock is, I think, is in the mood to reach the level of 65, 66 in the near term. It has broken the falling trend line, which was supporting from the levels of select 69. So we can expect 65, 66 in the near term. We can give a stop loss at 59. We can look for buying even at current levels.
Buying even at current levels, last 7 days, the stock was up 3%. Can see a level or a move up to 66 on a DCB. But Gaurang, on the fundamental side, is this still looking like a good bet in the entire PSU banking lot?
DCB definitely yes, Devina, and we've been recommending the stock from 45.50, and as a disclosure, we do have a buy coverage on DCB. I think it's a fantastic turnaround story. 2 years back, I think nobody would want to touch the balance sheet of DCB, but going forward, I think with the kind of improvement we've seen the numbers year on year, quarter on quarter, and of course the penetration, I guess they recently got an approval of opening about 8 to 10 branches from the Reserve Bank of India, which arguments well because of their limitation of branches that they have. And the kind of improvement in asset quality, of course, does speak quite good for the bank, that is DCB. Initially, our target's about 76 to 82, and I think we would definitely review it further if the bank continues to deliver the numbers that they've did in the last 2 or 3 quarters. So yes, I think not at these levels, but I think sub 55 on a bad day, because markets are not really going anywhere. I think if you get an opportunity close to about 55, 58, I think you can definitely start accumulating this one.
I definitely saw accumulating. Gaurang says about it. DCB over a long term, 78 to 80 you can achieve on that counter. But your own, final pick is the Nifty futures. You've gone short on this one. A broader call on the market, Gaurang?
I think we've seen a slow and a gradual grind down for the markets. Volumes for the last whole week actually has been nothing but an absolute downer. Net, I think your FI is slowly and steadily getting into the negative zone and selling off. Domestic guys are really not showing you much of an interest. Too much on government's hand at the center to handle. I think their hands are really full. Not really any voice coming out from New Delhi as far as the reforms are concerned. Your credit quarter, mid-quarter review on 16th will definitely have a quarter basis to 50 basis point hike. All this plays to be a little bit negative, and of course the curtains on the earnings season has nothing but a little bit of downscaling of most of the frontline companies in terms of targets. So we feel that this slow and gradual sell-off that we've seen will get deeper, and I think the problem as far as interest is concerned is absolutely nil or zero. Forget about retail guys, even your large investors are really not doing much in the market. So this gradual kind of nervousness would possibly compel the bears to come and have an upper hand, because the bullish patterns which we were visible at 55.50 and 55.50 levels on the Nifty spot has just kind of disappeared at these kind of levels. So we remain that sub 54.30 you will see a gradual kind of a grind down on the market, both on the Sensex and Nifty.
Okay, so bears have a firm grip on the markets and the downside pressure expected to continue according to Gaurang. Finally, the monolith from the oil and gas space, ONGC, you have a buy call on it. Shardul, run us through the kind of levels that you can anticipate, and do you think that it will continue to hold out?
See, in case of ONGC, we are seeing that for the past 11 months, the level of 260 has not been broken. And it is a very strong support level, which I don't think so easily will be broken unless and until there is some major development which is taking place. So we feel that this particular stock may bounce off the current levels, and it makes a lot of sense from a risk-reward perspective that you can buy the stock near to 265 and play for a target just for a bounce of around 281. You place your stop loss just below the all-important support level of 260. At 259, you place your stop loss and play for a bounce. So I think it's a trading bet from a 3 to 4 day perspective, wherein we would expect 280 levels to be tested in case of ONGC. The daily chart pattern says that you've seen oversold territory and you're seeing a bullish Harami reversal pattern taking place. So I think it makes sense to go long in this particular counter.
All right, makes sense to go long in an ONGC. Still got an upside potential, and today also working in Shardul's favor. Before we thank our guests, let's take a final check on their calculator plates, and this is how Shrikant Chauhan's portfolio stacks up. So now he's making money across the board on all his counters and all his calls. Good movement and good money being made in just the last few moments, about 5,000 odd rupees from the start of the show, where he was just making a marginal 100 rupees. Gaurang Shah, and that's how his portfolio stacks up, making money on Talwarkars. You've got Ingersoll Rand, which is causing him a little bit of a pain, but Reliance Capital and Nifty Futures also doing well for him. He is making 5,200 rupees, neck to neck almost with Shrikant Chauhan, Shardul Kulkarni, and that's his portfolio. Losing out on Raymond, ONGC, LNC, and Bhushan Steel doing well for him. He is making about 4,300 rupees. It's actually topsy-turvy all over again.
Absolutely, but no target prices have been achieved and no stop losses triggered as yet, but it's absolutely neck to neck. Let's thank our experts for being with us today on the show. Gaurang, Shrikant, as well as Shardul, pleasure to have you today on day one. Of course, we will continue all of the action on the other side with a portfolio with Rajat Bose. Stay with us.